Hi, this is Mrs. Nagayama, and this recording is to help you with the 3.31 quiz. Please review sections 3.28, 3.29, 3.30, and 3.31 before taking this quiz. So we're going to be talking about sexual reproduction specifically. There are actually two different types of reproduction, asexual and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction occurs in organisms like bacteria, more simple organisms. When an organism undergoes asexual reproduction, it produces offspring that are identical to themselves. So if you look at the top picture on the right, you see that you have that green bacteria, and its offspring or children is identical to itself. And so we see that they're just producing more and more copies of themselves. We know that most organisms reproduce not asexually but sexually. And when organisms undergo sexual reproduction, they produce offspring or children that resemble them but are not identical. So here's a very famous couple, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, and their daughter, Northwest. And we see that she resembles both of them, but she does not look identical to them. She is not like the green bacteria at the top that look exactly like its parent, but instead she looks like a hybrid, or she resembles them in different ways. And so it's really important that you know that sexual reproduction allows for organisms to resemble their parents but not be identical to them. So here's a sample question. What statement describes offspring produced by sexual reproduction? A, genetically the offspring are exactly like their parents. B, the offspring are genetically similar to only one parent. C, all of the offspring are genetically identical. Or D, the offspring are genetically different from their parents. We see at the last point of the previous slide, organisms that undergo sexual reproduction produce offspring that resemble them but are not identical to the parents. So the best answer for this one would be D, the offspring are genetically different from their parents. The next topic we'll be talking about are sex cells. So most of your body cells, so like your skin, your heart, your liver cells, all of those cells are called diploid cells. Di meaning two or double. So in the human body cell, we have about 46 chromosomes, and we call those diploid cells. However, for our sex cells, we call them haploid. Haploid meaning half. So the sperm and the egg are examples of sex cells for humans, and they each have 23 chromosomes present in their cells. That's half of what the rest of your body has. So if we were to look at this example, this isn't a quiz question, but just to make sure you understand, how many chromosomes would be in a frog's sperm or egg? If a frog's body cell has 26 chromosomes, how many would be in its sperm or egg? Remember, the body cell has always double the amount of sperm and egg, so what you need to do is divide it by 2. So the frog has 26 chromosomes in its body cell. If we cut that in half, we would get 13. So a frog would have 13 chromosomes in its sperm or eggs. So you might be thinking, why don't you look exactly like your mom or exactly like your dad? So here again are two very famous families, and you see that the children resemble their parents, but they definitely don't look exactly like either of them. And that's because half of your genes are from your mom and half of your genes are from your dad. The specific combination of genes that you have is unique because there are endless combinations of your parents' genes. This is why even though you and your siblings may have the same parents, you don't look exactly like each other because you were not made up of the same exact copy of egg and sperm. So we can then go into meiosis. So meiosis is when we make diverse or genetically different egg and sperm cells. And how we're going to do that is we're going to have a parent cell, and we're going to split the DNA in the body in half. So remember, the parent cell, which you see at the top of the figure, would have 46 chromosomes, but by the end, at the way bottom, we would have only 23 chromosomes present. So here's our sample question. Which statement correctly describes cells produced by meiosis? The new cells are exact copies of the original cell. B, the genetic material of the original cells divided among the new cells. Or C, the genetic material of the new cells is diploid. Remember, in meiosis, we're splitting the DNA of a body cell in half. So the best answer for this one would be B, the genetic material of the original cell is divided among the new cells. So that concludes the review for quiz 3.31. Again, make sure you are reviewing the sections that I mentioned before and that you take the quiz as many times as you need to so that you receive a score above 60%. If you need any more resources or help, please make sure that you reach out to me via Kmail or by phone.